It is time. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Overland Podcast. I'm Tony, aka Bats Off-road. How are y'all? Good, I hope. Hope you had a good week and stuff. Joey is not with us this evening. He's still out. Yeah, he's out gallivanting around in Utah, and I think he's kind of on the way home. But I can't wait to hear all about his hike.
He's discovering himself. He's finding himself in the valleys of Utah.
Yeah.
Experience.
Well, the picture I saw was amazing, so I can't wait to hear all about it. This evening, we have Tim and Patrick from Mothy Off-road. Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
On the hat.
There it is.
How
y'all doing?
Doing great, Tony.
Yeah.
Doing great.
Yeah.
I'm winning.
Winning?
We're always winning.
Winning today. Yeah.
Dodging the thunderstorms.
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of stopped outside.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. I mean, hearing the thunder come through the microphone.
Right.
Makes for a good show, right?
Doing some audio setups here and all that was kind of cool.
I should have put a secondary camera out there, and we could have taken the storm cam. Take a look at the tornado cam, and it's right there.
Nice. Cajun Kai coming to us from out in the Gulf somewhere on some oil rig out there. Hey, Podna, how are you, buddy? He's Cajun Kai is the creator of Jasper Jeep Jam.
Oh, super cool.
That's Kai and Lisa.
Wow, celebrities in the chat.
Wow.
So, side note, I have a buddy of mine that's invented a bumper for Sea-Doos, and you put a trolling motor on it. So it's a Sea-Doo bumper trolling motor mount.
Really?
And he goes out and pulls out sharks out by those oil rigs, like 8-foot swells, and dudes on a Sea-Doo pulling sharks out of the water. It's insanity.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I caught a shark one time. Yeah. We were my wife and daughter and I, we were vacationing down like by Dauphin Island, and I caught a huge shark down there. It was about that long. Yeah.
I caught a charcuterie board.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, it was all right.
Living on the edge. Charcuterie. Nice. All right.
I don't know. It almost gets borderline not family friendly. I better just stick to words I know. Sorry. Try to make a joke. A shark joke. It was,
It's all good. So, what's happening with you guys? You founders of Tim's a founder of Mothy Off-road. Yep.
Yeah. Brand new company. We just kind of had our official product launch this last weekend at the Moore Expo. So that was pretty cool. That was a new experience. Yeah, we talked to a ton of people and got to know a lot of folks out there. And hey, speaking of that, Dustin, we met Dustin Cassidy, and super cool guy. Yeah. We had dinner with him accidentally one night. I think it was the first night.
It was Friday night, I think. Yeah, it was Friday night. Yeah, because we had
Friday
barbecue
night
at the barbecue place.
Yeah, the VIP party was going on, and it was crazy in there. We were starving. Yeah. So we went to a little barbecue restaurant across the street, and Dustin came in, sat down by us, and we talked to him for like an hour. Super cool dude.
Yeah,
nice.
It was fun. Fun to hear his story.
Yeah. So this was the first event for you guys, just overall, or the first Moore overall, or the first one for Mothy?
Both.
Well, we did
both.
We've done some research, some market research type stuff at the Overland of America. Is that what it was, Tim? Is that what it was called? Yeah, in Jay, Oklahoma. Mothy really started because Tim is, we're both like heavy campers. I sold my camping rig, and then I'm starting a new build now, specifically for my Mothy, my solar system from Mothy. Just kidding, but it's going to be on there. But and so Tim's much more of the go out and stay for long periods of time without talking to people or seeing civilization.
Yeah,
and it was really having trouble keeping his batteries charged up, not wanting to install an alternator kit. I know that a lot of those are out there, but most mechanics will warn you any type of putting electricity if there's a chance electricity goes back to the alternator, it's just not worth it. And so, I was over at Tim's house and he was building this crazy battery system with like, what were those cases that you were using with the batteries in it?
Oh, they're like rigid toolboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a big battery in one and the charge controller, and then I had the power inverter in another one. And we were, I don't remember why I did it that way. I guess all I had was like that deck drawer system in my truck, and which I had one in a previous truck where I'd had an auxiliary battery in one of the drawers, but I've got a Ranger now. So my drawer space is, there wasn't very much of it.
Small.
And so I built these toolbox things and ran wires into them. And it was an interesting concoction. I'll say that. But yeah, like I had to leave for my trip because I had taken vacation from work, and like I had to get out there. And I didn't have time to run an alternator wire from the main battery, Yeah. So I was just running pure solar. And in hindsight, I'm actually glad it worked out that way because, now that I've got this, the solar rack, I don't ever want to have my batteries hooked up to my alternator again because, like Patrick was saying, it's a big load on the alternator. I mean, you're running, a lot of those charge controllers, they can handle like 500 to 1,000 watts or something like that, charging your batteries. Well, that's coming off your main battery and coming off your alternator. That's a ton of load.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that
fat subs in the back of your overlanding rig, you got some 15s in the back, then you get two alternators. You get all the juice.
Right.
Yeah. So you're not out in the wilderness with the thumping bass. Are you really overlanding? Are you really camping?
This brings up a good point. I was actually talking to Cajun Kai over the weekend about his setup. He's got a Gladiator. He's getting ready to add, power, battery, charger, all that to it. And we were talking about the alternator and, not oversizing the charger to what the alternator can handle. Is that kind of a thing? You don't want to get too big of a charger, right? I mean, wouldn't that pull through too much power through the alternator?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like how much current can those alternators really handle? Like 100 something amps.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know on the Gladiator.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't remember the exact number. Mine has mine came with the upgraded alternator package, but I don't really remember. It seems like 230 amps, maybe. Is that a bunch? Well, I'm winging it there a little bit.
That seems pretty big. I know I had a 2016 Ram 3/4 ton with the 6.4 Hemi single alternator, and it was under 200 amps.
I mean, I like big amps.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I can't lie about it. So it's just true. I like big amps. I can't lie.
Homie can't lie.
No, that's fact. No, I mean, but so, back to the story is like, so the solar rack, Tim kind of invented this because he didn't want to give up too much rack space and then not have to hook the alternator up and all of that. And so, bam, Mothy was born. And like he made this crazy prototype and people were like, yo, I need this, bro. How do I get one? So, and then he started making them out of his basement. No, sorry, he doesn't have a basement, but just the way all good things start is in someone's garage. And that's kind of, here we are. So we launched them at Moore, and that was really the big event where people got to see their hands on it. We'd kind of shown some people, some movers and shakers in the industry were like, hey, look at this thing. And they were like, yo, that's dope. We're going to steal that. We totally stealing that and going to do it ourselves. And then Tim went crazy and punched him in the face with his crazy Navy hand-to-hand combat training. Yeah. And
now there's like restraining orders and stuff.
No, they're too scared.
No, they're too scared to do that.
Yeah, he whooped them right there, right on the spot.
I kind of feel like there was a little bit of a soft launch at Jasper Jeep Jam.
There was. I wouldn't say it was a little bit.
Lot of people. Yeah.
I'd say it was a heck of a soft launch.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, that's kind of eyeballing it, looking at it, between hailstorms and tornadoes. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people reach out to me saying, "Hey, I saw this thing on Tony's roof. Like, tell me more
Good.
about it." So,
Right on.
I mean,
That's
that was
good.
back before Moore even.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet.
Well, yeah, I mean, people even
yeah,
came up to us at Moore, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I saw this on the Jeep, on Tony's Jeep."
Really?
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
lots of people did.
Nice.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
So it's word's getting out there. I'm even getting people contacting me from all the way from New York to Hawaii. Like literally
Yeah.
just this morning, someone from Hawaii reached out and they're like, "Dude, I want one of these things so bad." So
Yep. So here's
it's
Michael. Hey, buddy. He's off-duty overlander from up in Kansas. He moonlights for 4x4 Colorado. He was up at Moore this weekend.
okay.
Oh, cool.
I think I may have met him at Rito last year.
Probably so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Colorado 4x4. We had to borrow some chairs for Moore, so we bought some Colorado 4x4 chairs. Didn't borrow them, we bought them. Or Tim bought them. I didn't buy them. Tim bought them.
Yeah.
So, and they kept our butts seated for the times that we got to see. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Kai's not lying. He's not lying. So at Jasper Jeep Jam, I mean, you guys probably have heard the weather was sort of horrific at times. Wind blowing like crazy, just dust everywhere, and then we'd get a little bit of rain, and then it would pick up and blow again, and that dust just settled on the rain, and I just had like a coating over the whole solar panel. And so he caught me. I was out polishing the solar panel. So
Yeah.
Well, so fun fact, my SR, I have the 240, so it's 240 watts instead of the 400 like yours. Or is this a 240 or 400, Tim?
Mine's a 400.
400.
Is it okay? Yeah. So mine's the 240. I'm on a Lexus GX, so I don't have that much room. But my end caps, the tri-corner pieces, I'm getting gold plated so that I can like keep them real crispy, shiny.
Yeah.
Just because it's ridiculous driving a Lexus as an off-road vehicle. I think it's freaking hilarious. And so it's got to have more gold bits on it.
That cracks me up.
So I have something that needs to be shined on my piece.
That's nice. Yeah, I mean, Joey used to give me such a hard time because I was always shining mine up. But anyway,
He's just jealous.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, Joey, we'll get you one too, bro. Like
Bradley Lowry in the house from 870 Overland or Overland 870. I think I'm saying that wrong. Anyway,
I think all these different guys need like gang signs for different Overland shows and stuff, so we can all recognize each other. Overland 870, what up?
He shines in with sticks. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
So he's probably talking about Arkansas pinstripes.
Oh, gotcha.
Cholo Mafia. I don't know. I don't follow. I need some context, Bradley. Tell me what you mean. Correct.
He's phoning it. This is AI. Bradley's not real. That's just an AI chat response. Yeah. It's like when you're trying to order parts or something, you get that, random thing. It's AI, and it's like, I need this part, and they're like, so you think you need this part? Can I recommend? And then it's like nothing, or like they, just
it
random
just
stuff.
There,
and you're like,
dot.
Or they just say correct. I'm like, no, I'm trying to order the part. Correct.
Yeah,
it's like, no,
right.
Bradley, help me out.
That's
the Gladiator group,
okay.
Cholo Mafia. Okay. They have gang signs.
Gotcha.
For that Jeep group. Jeep guys, you guys all kind of scare me. Y'all roll up in your Jeep groups. You're like, hey, Lexus boy. And then, throw bottles at me.
Right.
That's one of the beautiful things I feel about like the overlanding and the off-road community in general is like, thank you. Press 2 to talk to Bradley. Now, I mean, the overland community is always really, really welcoming, and Moore was that way too. It's like everybody there was just super excited and You know, I'm a part of a couple of other industries that aren't that. They're a lot more standoffish. Like, you know, like there's more competition, and they're like, oh, I can't talk to you, or you know. But I mean, I feel like the overland community and the off-road community in general is like, yeah, I mean, we all have to give the Jeep guys a hard time, but the reality is like everybody's is really cool and like just excited to be a community of people that want to be out in the woods and stay out longer, right? Like that's
right.
The thing is every day our fight is how do we get out into the woods and how do we stay out there as long as possible, or the mountains or the, you know, whatever.
It's how do we get to the woods and how do we poop there?
How do we stay there long enough to have to poop?
Yeah,
without using our home bathroom.
Exactly.
Can we poop in the woods for as much?
Say no to ducks, Bradley. I agree with that. I am not a duck fan.
Straight up, I looked at a Gladiator before I bought the Lexus, and I was like all in on it. Tim even went with me. We drove it, and the duck thing ruins me.
Yeah,
like it's one of the biggest cons to owning a Jeep is dealing with that. Like, oh, like I don't know how to. I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but like it's gotten a lot.
Yeah. So I saw a sticker a while back that just cracked me up, but it's a small one. It goes right above the door handle on your Jeep. You know where the ducks normally go, and it says, you know, it's something kind of foul, but basically it says don't leave a duck. Yeah, foul. Don't leave a duck, but you could leave them little like whiskey bottles, the miniature ones. If you want to leave those, you could leave one of those or something. I don't know, but
well, to me, it's even like funny. On the dash is like what's insane. It's like having them all up on the dash, and like it's just a lot.
No,
like I've even seen like Kias now, like a Kia car, and some lady had like ducks across. It's like it's manifesting out, it's spreading out like a virus from the Jeep community into the Kia community.
I couldn't. You know, when I first got the Jeep, we had a few ducks here and there, and I'd put them up there, but they would end up, if we went off road, they would end up like kind of rolling.
Well, that's how you know. That's how you know the mall crawlers from the real off-roaders.
I'm done. Yeah, that's true.
Well, so like old Pajeros had that, like, you know, what you could see your angle. So like it would. That's what the Jeep. That's what the ducks are for the Jeep. What is that called, Tim?
It's like an inclinometer or a clinometer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what the Jeeps. That's what the ducks are for in Jeeps. Is that, you know, if you're I'm getting too.
Yeah, my ducks are about to roll off the dash.
Turn left.
Yeah, Galen, sorry I couldn't make the Moore Expo this year. This was the first one I've missed since they started. I had too many things going on here at home, dad duties and such, so stayed home. But yeah, so just so you guys know, Galen walks more every year than anybody I've ever met. So his annual goal is to walk the same mileage as the year it is. So this year is 2025, and he will walk 2,025 miles.
Oh my God!
Wow, like
that's a lot
in
of
a
walking.
Circle.
No. I mean, he just like every day he goes out and he walks, and I think it works out to like, I don't know, some crazy amount of mileage every day.
Wow.
So yeah, what Galen, expand that for me, but I think that's you've hit that goal for like how many years in a row now? So
5.5 miles a day right now.
Yeah,
a little bit over 5.5 miles. That's nuts.
Whiskey is always welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, now the chat's rolling in. Are we on a delay? What the deal?
There we go. Yeah, I got sidetracked here. So, all right. So back to Mothy Off-road. This sort of came about a couple of years ago. Last year?
Not really even that long ago. I think I got the first prototype built about January, February of last year. That's what the one that's on my truck now, the silver one. And I didn't really get to put it to use until last summer. But finally, once I got to get out, get away from work and get out there and actually use it, it was flawless. I did have a different battery setup. I had 200 amp hour batteries in my truck at that point, built a new drawer system and everything to house them. But my batteries never dropped below like 95% the whole time I was out. And again, no alternator hooked up to them.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw the power of that, oh, and there was a lot of cloudy days too during that, on my trips. And when I saw that and just how good the thing looked, I was like, man, I got to show this to other people, see what they think about it. And then when I got all that positive feedback, I was like, yep, I got something here. I need to do something with this.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, I'm telling you. Go ahead.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've been out of the entrepreneurial world for the last few years, working a desk job with them golden handcuffs, and it's kind of driving me crazy. So this was my ticket to get back into that entrepreneurial world. So I'm excited to jump into it.
What were you going to say? You were saying something about the.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that. So this is the first time Jasper Jeep Jam was the first time I parked. I think from Tuesday to Sunday. Once I got set up in place at the Jasper Jeep Jam, I pulled that panel open or slid the panel open, and it charged everything I needed that whole time. And I've never had that experience where, I didn't feel like I needed to start the truck or at least, drive for a little bit every day. I charged a big EcoFlow, like a 1300 watt EcoFlow. Kept my 100 amp hour battery charged. It's in the truck, and it had no issues. And that was with several days of bad weather, clouds and rain. And so it's just fantastic. Fantastic.
That's great to hear. How did you find out about Mothy?
A natural state overland post.
Oh, really? I guess I never thought to ask that question, so I didn't know how you found me.
Yeah, I responded. You put out a kind of a feeler, or somebody from Mothy did put a feeler out on that, and I just responded to that. I was like, hey, I'm interested to see what you've got going. I had no idea.
Okay. Yeah, well, I knew it was the beta tester thing, which is still, it's like a pinned post on Facebook. I didn't remember putting that on Natural State Overland.
Well, I may be wrong about that. I thought that's where I saw it. I thought maybe it was shared there or something.
Maybe. Yeah, I know I put it somewhere else on somebody else's page or whatever, or group. But yeah. So, well, I couldn't have picked a better beta tester. I mean, you've been awesome and really helpful and kind of refining the last couple of little things with it. So you've been a big help, Tony.
That's great to hear. I'm glad that you're pleased with the results so far. That was even with a slow start. I mean, many of the guys listening know that I was sick there right after I got it for a few weeks. So I missed out on some opportunities, but yeah. So Michael wants to know, do you recommend MPPT or a PWC type controller?
MPPT all day, every day, for sure. They're just a lot more efficient with the way that they change the voltage and the timing of the charge. What do you call it? The charge blips or the pulses. The charge pulses. Yeah. So yeah,
Can you explain the difference between the two, Tim, for anybody that is interested and doesn't know?
Yeah, I was getting ready to. Can you?
Yeah. So the MPPT is like I can't remember what it stands for. Something point tracking. Basically, it checks the voltage of the battery in between. Well, it knows the chemistry of the battery for one thing.
Maximum PowerPoint tracker.
Maximum PowerPoint. There you go. And
I hate PowerPoint.
So basically, it checks the battery voltage in between every single pulse, and so it gives it a very directed, intentional voltage pulse to maximize the rate of charging for that battery chemistry and that battery's voltage. And then the PWC, which is what is it, pulse width control or something like that?
Yeah.
I think that one just sends, if I understand right, sends a full voltage of 14.2 or whatever it is, and it just varies how long it sends that pulse out.
It stands for personal watercraft. That's what.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
So yeah, so like jet skis are terrible battery chargers.
Yeah, they're horrible for that.
Yeah, and
They're
a big
fun.
reason there's nowhere to hook up the cables.
Yeah.
You can't plug them in.
Yeah. The output is underneath. That's where you plug it in.
You're
It's
dragging
in
the
the
solar
water.
panel through
Yeah.
the water.
Yeah,
That's right.
and that's dangerous.
Yeah.
What would so there's not even another reason to really go with the other one, right? Like, would there be
Right.
would there be okay? I mean, what I do in this is for I don't know if this is for everybody, but I just use the EcoFlow. I think kind of like what you do, Tony. Is like my Mothy just plugs straight into that, and then I don't have to worry about anything else. I mean, I like that freedom too, because like this isn't my permanent car forever, so I'll build it up and sell it, but I won't get rid of my SR, and so I can just change it from vehicle to vehicle. And then I haven't had to wire anything crazy all the way through blah 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 something and then regret having to unhook it and leave random cables somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Is I've got one cable that I just plug in whenever I'm stationary, plug it in, run it in the door jamb, and plug it into the input, the solar input on the red arc, and then from there, if I want to charge the EcoFlow, I unplug it from the input on the red arc, and I made another cable that's got the proprietary end on it for the EcoFlow that just plugs into that. So I ended up with two cables to get to the EcoFlow. But
because the EcoFlow uses the X10 connector, right? What is that
XT60?
The XT60, the yellow. It looks like the old RC car plugs. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, like a little yellow plug or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So mine doesn't even on my EcoFlow. It's not even proprietary. It's just.
Well, I probably misspoke. It to me that it's the only one that I have that's like that. I guess I assumed. I shouldn't assume, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I charge all my RC cars with the solar panel too. Just kidding. I don't think
you just power them.
Do that, could you? Yeah, I just run
just
the
power
car.
them, and it just car
really
just starts running
cable.
in circles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, those power stations.
Planes? Oh, go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
No, I was going to say those power stations they're the way to go, because you've got everything all in one little compact package, and like you don't have to worry about wiring anything. You don't have to worry about something going wrong with it, and if you want to take it with you, you can take it with you. So that's what I'm going to switch to, I think, instead of doing my big, separate component system that takes up this much of my truck bed. Go down
when
to
it's
something
cheaper.
small.
I feel like it's just I can take it to to anything, even if I'm just outside a picnic at with my family or whatever. I don't have to keep. I'm not limited to my car. Right. So even if we just jump in and do something outside of the vehicle, like go golfing or something, and I need the battery for whatever, I can just take that with me. I'm not stuck, especially for the investment. Some of these guys are investing crazy monies into having some sort of, wired up, Red Arc is not cheap. It's good, but it's they're proud of it. And, if you don't want to go that route, you have another option. We say hi to Arla. I see that in chat popping up there.
Yeah. So, hey, hon, that's my favorite wife there, Arla. She's
how many you got, Tony?
Just the one right now.
Good. Okay. I was like, the favorite? What podcast am I on right
now? No, it's I get a kick out of the reactions. Yeah. No, we've been together 32 years. So
wow, congrats.
Yeah. So awesome. Anyway. Yeah, so you guys have the SR400 and the SR240. Yeah.
And then we also have a third one that we haven't really talked about much. Well, I talked about it more with individuals, but we tried to get one built before Moore, and there was an issue with the parts that I got ordered. I ordered the wrong parts, so I was the issue. But it's an SR400 wide body, so it'll be like Tony, your Rhino Pioneer platform thing.
Yeah,
it's like the exact width of that, so it's a lot wider than the SR240. Well, and the 400, but it's only about as deep as the 240. front to back. So you get a really wide 400 watt panel as opposed to like the big square one, like what you've got on your Jeep right now.
So it would be, I'm sorry, what was the wattage on that one again? It's just the wide body.
It's 400. It's 400. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's not as long, like front to back.
Right.
The vehicle.
It's not as deep. It's wide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tire to tire compared to axle to axle.
Bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I could shift that whole thing forward and gain a little bit of rack room on the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Huh.
So that's a pretty new development.
Tony's excited. Tony needs a wide
man.
body.
You want a new one?
Yeah, I absolutely love. You guys are always thinking about improving the design and making it better and tweaking this and that, and I just love that. I mean, I love the one that I have now. Right? It's like so. Yeah. I mean,
it's what makes them so hard to build. Like,
yeah,
I want to keep changing every time I build one. I want to make a little improvement to it, and I have to go, nope, stick to the design.
Yeah. My sole job at Mothy is to hold Tim back, because like everyone he makes, he's like, oh man, I could do this, or they're like, I didn't really like the way I did this. I could do it this, and I'm like, no, Tim, like this is the best way. It still works. It's really great. Let's sell 1 million of them, and then come up with another plan. But like, stick to the plan, Tim.
Yeah, Tim's over here running ideas by me, and I'm like, yeah, you should do that. Patrick's like,
not right now. No, I mean, that's it. Really, if you look at Mothy as not just a solar panel company, really, look at Mothy more as the company behind the motto, which is stay out longer. Like, we have some plans for products that is the goal. So like everything we do is behind that model. So it's not necessarily even solar focused. Everything is focused to stay out longer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, thanks for that, Patrick. Yeah, we're not a solar panel company. That's just the first product in a lineup of many things to come to help you stay out longer. So we got storage solutions coming out. We've got dog beds coming out. Dogs are something that's really important to me.
Yeah,
belt.
I can't.
You got a belt for so your pants don't fall down, so you can stay in the woods longer. Because if your pants fall down, then you.
Yeah, I can't wait till y'all come out with the new toilet and
Mothy belt right here.
See, there's the Mothy belt.
That's the buckle for it. We got Mothy keychains. Mothy keychains help you stay out longer.
Right.
If you lose your keys, you stay out a really long time.
You're going to stay a long time.
Yeah. So okay, there's a question I see on the screen, but that one is beyond my pay grade.
So he's got a 100 amp hour battery like I do, with a secondhand red arc like I do. I think mine was a reconditioned one. It's a BCDC 40 amp. Anyway, and an Anchor Solix C800 Plus. I'm not sure what the size of that one is. Sounds like
800.
That one's pretty good size. I think it's like 1,000 watt, 1,300 watt, something like that.
Yeah,
so I was actually looking at that one just a couple weeks ago.
Is that the one with the lights? You can pull the lights out of the top of it. Yeah, that thing's dope. I like that.
I do have a solar connected on the roof.
So
yeah. What kind of RTT do you have? Can
they answer in real time?
That's cool. he can come back here. We'll go ahead while he's doing that. We'll say hi to Gina.
What up, Gina?
That's Bradley's better half. I would imagine, I would imagine she, like my wife, is packing like crazy. They're all headed down to Adventure Her at Maris Adventure Park on Thursday. They're going to be rolling through your neck of the woods on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
we need to get out there for some time.
Well, you can't go to that, Tim.
Well, I know that. I know I can't go to that one. I want to go to Maris. That's what I'm.
I got you. I need to find out more about that, because my daughter, I have a 19-year-old that loves camping, but she, there's the whole stigma, and it's legitimate fear of camping by yourself as a woman, right? And so, I want to get her connected with that sort of stuff. So
yeah.
Where can I find out more?
on the Adventure Her.
Adventure Her.
Okay. Yeah. All things social Adventure Her. Maybe my wife can bring me up to speed here. But I think it's just Adventure Her, like Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a women's only wheeling event when camping. So they are loading up the trailer. So I guess you can find out more about it on Lady Overlander Radio. They teach classes. Yeah.
Super. She was supposed to go to Moore with us, but she's in college, and you know how that. I think she had a test or something. She was like, I better stay and focus on my academics.
Stupid
Like,
adulting.
fine, I guess so.
Adulting getting in the way.
Yeah. But to answer that other guy's question, he was talking about he can't really charge with if he has his tent on. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I just looked that up. That's the one I thought it was, where it's like a soft top wedge shaped tent.
Oh yeah, they have the shell that comes over.
It's a really light. No, it's this kind. Yeah, they're super lightweight, but they don't really have any like mounting stuff on the top of them. So some of those wedge style tents we can mount our stuff to. I don't know about that one. That might be some custom work on that.
So for anybody that might be kind of curious, what would you say the weight is on like a SR240 or mine?
That one's like, I need to weigh the thing, but it's like 50 to 60 pounds, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And then, and so then the 400s, I'm guessing it's about 80. It's a little bit heavier.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about right. Yeah. Yep, she's got she just has it's just panels mounted to cross rails on her tent. But her tent's on a trailer, and it's an off-road type trailer, but yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of the Mothy still is like you still can kind of regain even some of that space. If you needed to put some max tracks or something like that, our fear is like you put too much stuff on top of the tent and then you can't open it, right? So
that's a great point, because her rack on her tent is completely consumed with 2 solar panels.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the beautiful thing is,
Well, I've seen people like glue solar panels to the top of the hard shell racks too.
Yeah.
But then like that takes a whole level of bravery that I'm not comfortable with. I don't trust those flexible solar panels very much. And now after that thing's glued, if something starts to go bad on that, then what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
And and it's like, and it always, there's so much like, it just doesn't look very good sometimes when it's like epoxied on there. But
well, in my experience, they just aren't as efficient as like the solar panels that you guys are using. So
100% facts. To the guy with the tent, let's find a way. I mean, that's why we have the 240. I couldn't fit my roof tent and anything else other in the 400 on the top of the Lexus, which is a 4Runner. They're not super big. I have a RCI roof rack, which shout out to those guys in Loveland. They're awesome. And then put the 240 fits with my roof tent. So like that was one of the reasons that Tim made it, was so that I could still mount and have my solar rack on top of the Lexus with a roof tent as well. So, and then you get the stuff on the side. So, there was a lot of guys at Moore that were like, oh, I put a box of stuff up there. And it was like, well, yeah, but now you have the rails on the side. So you don't have to necessarily just have a box for your donuts. You can put, the donuts somewhere else. They don't have to be on your roof rack. So
that's right. Yeah, that was one of the things that was really cool working with Tim. When I first got the panel, the SR400, we still had to work out how to attach it to the Pioneer platform. And, Tim, he was just like constantly like, what can we do? How can we, we went back and forth, and, we use angles, we use a fabricated bracket, so we ended up finding something that worked out really good. In my opinion, I think it looks great. It's solid as can be. So
that Pioneer platform it's a little bit tricky because the slats go this way and the rails on the solar rack go this way.
Yeah,
they don't quite line up. So.
No, You got to add something somehow to make it all G and haw.
Yep.
Right on.
Well, all you Jeep guys love those slats going the wrong way.
Well, there's for mounting a rack to a plastic roof or a fiberglass roof, there's not a whole lot of options that aren't just awful to me. Looking. Pioneer Platform is one of the better looking ones in my book, and plus it comes with the backbone inside that structurally can hold everything up.
Yeah.
But everything's running north and south.
It really has to. I mean, just because, like what you said, is like but it was really funny too, because like, I'm asking everybody at Moore, like, what what vehicles do you run, blah blah blah, and like the majority, it was like 50-50. There were Jeep guys that were like, I never take the roof off, I never take the doors off, it doesn't matter. And then the other 50 is like, I don't know how I could mount this because I drive without the roof on most of the time. So it was like, one way or the other. They either wanted a solid, or they never had the roof on at all, or they would put like what is the little top called, like a bikini top? Is that what it's called? That's not what it's called.
Yeah, well,
just a little soft top.
Yeah, a little sun rider soft top thing. I've never been a fan. I mean, my wife, she would, and that was the other thing that was nice about the Rhino rack is, I have a hoist system in the garage mounted to the roof, and I can run it down and attach it to the Rhino rack, Pioneer Platform, and then take all the bolts out, and it just lifts the whole rack and everything up. So it allowed you to have a roof rack and still be able to take the top off. And if it were up to her, she'd have the top off 24/7. And I don't care to have the top off.
If I own a Jeep or a Bronco, like Tim gives me crap all the time. I was looking at that Gladiator, and then I almost bought a Bronco as well. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to buy the Lexus because I can't take the doors off. And he's always like, you can take the doors off anything if you try hard enough. No, that's true.
Yep. They come off.
But I wouldn't have doors on the vehicle ever. Anyway.
So where can the Adventure Crusader see pictures of your Lexus?
Well, we're building it out to kind of be more of an exemplary example of what an SR rack looks like. So we'll start like the build pages and that sort of stuff soon, so you can watch and follow along with us. Cool. So make sure you follow Mothy's socials, and you'll see it along there. So I'm not ready to reveal all of it yet, but
okay,
you'll get to see it when we're ready.
All right. Michael says he has a 200-watt Renogy Flexi panel on his rooftop tent, and max I get in perfect conditions is 63 watts, never above 6 to 7 amps. Not a fan of this panel. So, I'm trying to figure out so I have the 400, and I think the most I've gotten out of it is about 220, 225. And that's just what I've noticed. I mean, it's always flat, so it's never going to be absolutely perfect perpendicular to the sun. But
and the other thing too about like seeing what wattage you're getting out of your panels is that's something that's like, it's really hard to measure, right? Because Tony, I think that what you were looking at was the charge rate on your EcoFlow, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I have currently to measure what's going in. So I don't know if that was limited by the EcoFlow.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, that's what happens, right? Those things will limit how fast it's charging the battery for a number of different reasons. Maybe it won't charge it at a very high rate if you're already at like 98% or something like that, because you don't want to overcharge the battery. So it's really difficult to get an actual wattage output of a solar panel unless you have all the metering, electrical devices connected straight in line with it, and put a if you know the voltage and the current going through the wires, then you can get the actual wattage. But yeah, and unless you hook up specific metering devices, you're not going to see
Yeah.
exactly what it's putting out.
Yeah. The only thing I've got is this little cheap little percentage gauge. And every time I would look at it, it was at 100%.
Yeah.
So what does Tim remind me on his? Does it have the shadow flux?
No. His.
So could that be?
His was before that.
Okay, well, so that's on the 240s. We have it has the shadow flux panels on it. So all of the different bars are wired in series instead of parallel. I'm sorry, in parallel instead of series. And so, like, even if you have like a shade tree or anything that kind of like a branch that goes over it, you'll still get a percentage of charge. So, in the instance of that guy that was talking, he's trying to justify the purchase of it. The beauty is, it's like, one, you can charge while you're driving. And so you're getting that charge all the time, and then you get the double the charge when you deploy it. So it's just a much more elegant solution to having your solar panels up there, especially the flexi. That's what I was talking about earlier, like the gluing of the flexi panels. I don't like those panels very much, just because I feel like their reliability is really bad. They had to make so many compromises to make it flexible that this is kind of what happens, is you just don't really get anywhere near what the claim is. And it's almost, to me, like almost borderline, like to what Tim said, you're not really ever going to see, know what you're going to be able to pull. There's so many factors that go into actually how much power is generated. But this is the reason why Mothy exists, right? Is because when Tim builds this, he puts the panels in that get us as close to possible, and then it also makes it a way to not have to worry about wasting the money on something that's going to, like the panels that are on mine have a 25-year 85% efficiency warranty from the manufacturer, right? And you don't get that on a flexi panel, period.
Yeah.
But and I kind of worry about those numbers, because people get so frustrated with their purchase from other solar companies. Everybody loves their purchase from Mothy, but from other solar companies, because these types of numbers. And it's I don't know if you remember back in like the computer days, like there was a issue with like hard drives. They would say 20 gigs or whatever, but it was really like not 20 gigs, because there's other stuff that gets stored on there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what's happening a lot of times with the solar panels, is like technically the capacity to generate electricity is 600 watts, but there's really no way to get that. It's like a bag of chips. You're going to get some air in there. Like they can't fill the chips all the way up. It's,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, my very first solar panel came when we bought our first EcoFlow. It was 110 watt, one of those flexible trifold things.
Yeah, like the fold out ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was lucky to get like 68 watts out of it, 60 to 70 watts. And
like 69 watts.
Yeah, something like that, and it was crazy. You couldn't get a charge out of that. For anything, you couldn't. I mean,
it basically like gives you a little bit more long life. Like you're still going to eat the juice out the battery, but it just slows down now.
Yeah,
but they call that. But Tim, I think they have a name for that.
Huh? It throttles it. Throttles your consumption.
Well, no, it's just like it doesn't give you enough juice, so you don't ever. It like slows. It's like I can't remember what it's called. Never mind. Someone Google that. Let me know in chat. What is it called when it's not like a battery maintainer? It's like a maintainer.
Tender,
like a trickle charge.
Battery tender.
There we go. We're in there.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in there, folks.
I was glazing over it because I just remembered that we had a special announcement. This evening. I was like, oh my gosh, we've just been rolling along here having fun, and we're almost 50 minutes, and we haven't even talked about your special announcement.
So
let's have it. Hit me.
So big deal, especially for me. That excites me. Probably not so much everybody else, but definitely me.
I'm excited.
Right, the week before Moore, like a couple days, 2 days before Moore, put down the deposit on a new factory. So moving out of the garage and moving into an actual, I call it a factory. It's a warehouse. It's it's like a 30 by 50 foot warehouse.
Yes.
So
we're gonna be cranking these out, so you can get one.
Trying to get everything done in my little bitty garage. I actually have room to breathe now, and set up a hoist that I can actually use instead of the one that's like 3 inches above my truck on the ceiling.
Right on.
I'm really excited about that.
That's
so
awesome.
We'll be moving in there, and I think July 1st is when the lease actually starts on that. So
nice.
We're pretty juiced about that.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So it's the new Mothy playground.
Yeah.
We get to go out there, and Tim gets to show me his crazy. We out in the lab creating concoctions.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to have a little rigs and coffee or something, and we'll come over and hang out.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Maybe
see all the.
Maybe it comes with some limitations, so I don't know if I can do that or not.
If your landlord's going to let you have a Saturday morning coffee party.
Yeah. Well, it's okay.
He's buying it.
It's a weird situation because it's a residential lot. So I don't think I'll be able to do like business there. You know what I mean?
No business.
Yeah.
No install, no
keep
party.
It on the down low.
Yeah. But no, to your point though, about rigs and coffees, we are going to find some places to do that. Patrick has a parking lot that he might be so nice as to let us use.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course. I think it'd be perfect for that. You got the trees in the background. Everything is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, Cajun Kai wants to know where we are. We're in Oklahoma City. So,
which is in Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma.
He said city and state.
Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Oklahoma. So when people ask me where I'm from, I always say Oklahoma City. Is there another one in the country?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't live there. He asked specifically for the city and state, Tim. Yeah. I'm just trying to make, be, clear and precise language.
He's Cajun, so there's no telling what he's going to ask you to. Okay.
I think there's an Oklahoma City, Louisiana. So could be confused easily. And then my parking lot is actually in Yukon, Oklahoma. So where Garth Brooks is from.
Nice.
So we have a Rigs and Coffee where Garth Brooks is from.
Okay.
Maybe he'll come and play some music.
Right on.
He doesn't live in Yukon anymore.
I just Googled it. There's one Oklahoma City. So I don't have to use the state anymore.
But that's what he asked. So we're answering their question.
It's in the city.
In the city. So Chicago?
No, it's in the name. The state is in the name.
Okay. Anyways. Hey, can we give a hat away too?
Do you want to give a hat away?
Yeah, I want to give a hat away. How many followers? How many people are watching right now? I can't see.
Right now we have 6 people watching us.
Oh.
So that's a hard number to really gauge because I think we only get part of the numbers. I don't think it pulls from everywhere it's streaming right now.
Oh yeah, true.
So if you guys are having people watching through, if you shared the link, I don't know that it's pulling those numbers as well.
Oh, true. Okay. Well, I just thought of it right now because I got a big stack of hats. So there we go. Low places like Oklahoma City. I get it. I should have probably talked to you a little bit more about, hey, let's give something away. But I have a stack of hats. So
let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't know if we have a mechanism for it, but we could pick a number in the chat. I'm thinking of a number. Something like that.
Okay.
I'll tell you the number. I'm just kidding. I won't say it out loud. And so then if anybody
all right, anybody who wants to win a Mothy Off-road hat, in the comments, just a number between 1 and 20.
Yeah, that'll be good. And then we'll see. Can we see that? Will the chats pop up on the screen?
Yeah. I'll put them up there whenever we get some.
Tim, do you have a number in mind?
I have a number in mind.
Okay. Did you just told him?
No, it's not one.
Oh, okay.
I was saying I have a number in mind.
Okay, when someone says it, then you call it out.
Tiffany says number 8. Tiffany is one of the awesome ladies going down to Adventure Her this weekend.
Boom. Tiffany wins. I'm just kidding. I know. $1 bomb. Bum, 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 bum. Womp, womp, womp.
We went to high school with a guy who was on The Price is Right, and I think he won a car or something.
We went to school with him?
Yeah, Todd.
You can't.
Yeah.
I can't enter my own giveaway. Dang it. I didn't know. That's the first. So that's the first time I've done that, and I didn't realize it would put it everywhere. So, how about up to 30? Since I'm retiring after 30 years in law enforcement in December.
Hey, congrats, adventurer! That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So where are you? Where are you at? The Adventure Crusader. Where are you at? Where are you retiring from? Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Patrick. What were you?
Well, I have a friend of mine started a company, or it's a nonprofit called the On Call Project for first responders, police that have retired and are going through retirement. So it either helps them find new employment, but also just kind of navigate retirement. It's a really big, a lot of times when men specifically retire. If they don't have something to do, it's really bad deal. And the increase of that bad deal among first responders and police, et cetera, is really significant. And so the On-Call Project works with them to be able to make sure that they can find that purpose after retirement. So Adventure, I'd definitely reach out, not to plug anybody else, but they're doing a really good thing. And they do, anyway, it's oncallproject.com, I think is what it is. So
Gotcha.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Awesome.
So, not meaning to plug somebody else on the show, but it's
really that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. All right.
Number?
We have 8. Oh, well, we have 2 1s. We can't have 2 1s, people.
Well, it's not
he
one.
He said it wasn't one.
I said it was. Well, no, I said this wasn't one. I was saying that was me raising attention to myself.
Maybe they have to send a self-addressed envelope to
self-addressed stamped envelope.
Yeah. Remember that was like Bozo the Clown used to do that? They would send you like I never did it. I always wanted to as a kid, but I was like, or like Gruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
Yeah, I'm with you, Kai. I think Crusader got close enough.
What was your number?
My number was 17.
Ah, there you go.
See, I was the closest.
Man, we giving hats left and right. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I will throw the hat on the website, and then if you watched in the show today, I'll put a coupon code on the website that says the OP, and you can use that coupon code to get a discount on a hat for tuning into the show. So I can't give you a free one on that, but we can at least make it a little bit cheaper for you. So there you go. They're not on the website right now, though, so don't go jump on the website. But we'll have them up there. So the OP will be the code. So somebody write that down for me.
The OP, the Overland Podcast, the OP code. So new products. You got anything you want to share with everybody? We're coming near the end here, but I just thought I'd see if you wanted to. Yeah, I know you've got some really cool ideas.
I've got some ideas.
To release.
I've got some stuff I'm working on, mostly up here. But I'm really trying to get the solar racks off the ground first, and get those to a point where they're, churning through the factory pretty quick before I really start to deviate my focus on anything. But yeah, the next steps are going to be like bed drawers and seat delete kits, and
okay.
When there's a bunch of attachment things too,
and then attachments,
accessories.
Yeah. Actually,
before gold pieces for the top,
right?
Just kidding. Those are one off.
Before I focus on the other things, I'll probably stick to the SR with doing the Mothy modules that will bolt up to the back of it, so we can do like full battery solutions up there. So you don't have to run wires anywhere. It's just, you'll have to run one wire. It'll be just coming out of the module, and that'll be your 12-volt output that goes to whatever your 12-volt distribution system is. Yeah. So we're going to do one of those, maybe an air compressor. That's the one that's it's going to be pretty tricky to fit an air compressor in that space because, the solar rack is only 4 inches tall. And
I'm losing power, guys. The storm's getting serious. So
yeah,
and there aren't many air compressors that can fit in that small of a space. But it's one of the things I definitely want to do because I'd love to be able to deploy the solar panel and have 2 air chucks right there at the front of it. So you just run a short hose down to each tire and then run some other hoses to your back tires and air up all your tires at once.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were ready to talk about that, but I think the battery module would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just to have that battery right on the back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be. Yeah.
So,
and we made some good connections on Moore for that too. So that's and the other thing I want to, anybody that's watching, even if you're watching live or watching later, follow Mothy on socials. And if you have questions about your solar system or how you can run off batteries or any of those sorts of things, Tim is the guy that answers all of the social media questions and answers and stuff like that. And so if you need any help that you feel like we could help with, reach out and let us know. Even if you haven't bought a solar rack, we believe in staying out longer. And so if we can help you do that, we'd be glad to help.
Right on. Heck yeah. All right.
MothyOffroad.com.
MothyOffroad.com, all Mothy Off-road socials, Facebook, Instagram.
That's
all
it.
Stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Facebook, Instagram.
Man, what an
Facebook,
hour.
Instagram, OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
OnlyFans, Mothy OnlyFans. It's hot.
Mothy only feats.
Anyways, we're moving on. Changing that subject real quickly.
All right, guys, it's time to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody watching, all the comments. Tim and Patrick, really appreciate you guys coming over here and telling us all about Mothy Off-road. I really am excited about what you guys are doing. I think it's a great thing. And I have I see good things in store for you guys. So
yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Tony.
Yeah.
It means a lot. It means a lot, man.
All right. Here. Feel good.
Yeah.
And shout out to Casey and Kai for hanging out with us the whole show.
Oh, yeah. And Adventure Crusader, reach out to me on the socials. Let me know your address. I can send you a hat.
Yep. If you can't find him, reach out to us too, and we'll get y'all connected. Somehow we'll get that to you. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up again. Really appreciate you coming on here. Whatever you do, get out, enjoy, disconnect, stay out longer. Watch where you step. Don't step in number 2 or something like that. That's Joey's line. I always mess that up.
Anyway, he doesn't exist anymore. He's not even
here.
It's the one-man Tony show now.
What's a Joey?
Who is Joey anyway?
Joey the Professor.
I don't know anybody like
I've never heard of him.
All right, you guys have a great week. Yeah, he's up in Utah. He's a world traveler now. Have a good week. See y'all.
Bye, guys.